What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Options Flippers. It's Nick. In today's episode, we're going to be going over what happened in the market today, my positions, profit and loss, and what we've got lined up for tomorrow. Today was a bloodbath, so to speak. The market definitely pulled back from the news of yesterday's stimulus bill, and we saw an all-around negative day for the most part. That being said, let's jump into the positions and let's get right into it. Breaking down our thoughts on today, kind of what happened in the market as a whole, overview of what our positions were, what we sold out of, what we bought, and so on and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and start with Plug. When the market opened up today, Plug was getting pretty hammered off the bat. It opened up in the pre-market down, slightly positive, 51.50, and then absolutely tanked right at market open. We did get a little bit of a buyback up until about 11, which we actually did take advantage of. But as you can see, the rest of the afternoon it completely slipped, and it's actually still falling in the post market. Definitely not ideal, but oh well. Next up, we got Square. Square this morning absolutely popped off. I actually dumped it right around 10:05, I believe. Or no, excuse me. I dumped it around 9:35, just because on the chart on TradingView it looked like there was going to be a pretty big sell-off, and there was. It actually went down to 247, but I wanted to lock in profits while I had them, and I was up like almost $500. So cash that in, and also I needed to free up some capital to kind of put out some fires, so to speak. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. We sold out of Johnson&Johnson as well, pretty much right out of market open and over on Ameritrade. As you can see, we got up to about 160.60, which is super solid because that was pretty much enough to recoup my entire position. And as I was mentioning in yesterday's video, I was feeling a little sketched out about Johnson&Johnson. I was not in love with that position. So getting out of that and getting the majority of my money back was pretty solid. We actually ended up taking a 7.5% loss, but that's way better than it would have been in the rest of the day, as you can see. And once again, we did want to free up some capital because it seemed like everything was going a little too crazy for me. We did lock in some great profits though overall. Exited out of Johnson&Johnson, profited heavy on Square. And then we did do some other plays with Plug throughout the day, which we'll get into later. Looking at the market as a whole, Wall Street definitely pulled back from yesterday. The Dow was down 0.5% or 0.5%. S&P was down about 1%, and the Nasdaq was down 1.7%. So as you can see, not the best day in the market for everybody, but I did kind of expect this to happen given yesterday's news. Everything kind of went crazy, and after a green day, usually a red day follows. So not really too surprised, but always got to be aware of that, especially with short-term contracts. In the post-market, though, we did get some good news. Biden updated his stance on the vaccine doses. He's now claiming that we'll have every adult vaccinated by May in the United States, and we can go over here to this article. I don't really use this website much. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was the only one that I could get the statement off of. But you can see here, Washington, March 2nd, 2021. President Joe Biden said Tuesday that the United States expects to take delivery of enough coronavirus vaccines for all adult Americans by the end of May, 2 months earlier than anticipated. So this is pretty huge. I think we may see the market pop off a little bit tomorrow because of this. Who knows? It also could be priced in, which is what was one of my friends was saying, that he thinks it may already be priced in, but I don't know. I think we could still see a little bit of a pop from this, but we'll see. And then today's trades, we're going to be going over. Today we traded Plug, NIO, a little bit of Riot, Johnson&Johnson, and Square. And then our new position we picked up today was on NIO. So let's jump right into it. So starting right off at the market open, you can see these were our Square contracts. They were filled yesterday, March 1st, at about 10:34 in the morning. We sold those off right at market open, like I said, 9:37. We sold those for $1,175. So we banged a $435 profit in about a day. Not too bad. Then once we had that capital, we headed over to our plug position, and we actually loaded up on some weeklies here. These were contracts that I scalped for pretty cheap. I bought 3 of them for $630 and cashed them out for $792, banking a profit of $162 in 18 minutes. This was primarily for the purpose of trying to make up for the loss that I was taking on plug given the morning. And as you guys saw, I mean, the morning was pretty brutal. So we actually took advantage of this little correction right here, banked almost $200 to compensate our overall loss for the day. So that definitely helped out. Next up, we headed over to NIO. We flipped 5 contracts at 176 and cashed out at 196. So a profit of $20 per contract. So we made $100 in 6 minutes, which was pretty solid. And you can see right here, I bought them at 10:15 and we sold them at 10:21. So 6 minutes, $100, not too bad. And then this is the new position we entered into, guys. I was a little hesitant about this because I was watching NIO for a few hours. But let me explain to you my decision and thought process on this right here. So I put about $1,240 on $43 calls for March 19th on NIO. Some of the things that went into this was definitely the technical analysis that we'll get into. But that being said, these contracts had a high of $485 today, and they previous close of $790. So these essentially were worth $800 yesterday. But given today, the huge sell-off of NIO, they were down 13%, and I really feel like it was a little bit of an overreaction to their earnings and a combination of the market being pretty crappy today as a whole. But if we take a look at the hour window here, prior to the post market, you can see that we had these bullish sledgehammers, particularly this one right here. I mean, we fell all day, all the way down to 42.55 from a high in the pre-market of $51. So I mean, I thought this was a little bit absurd. You can also see that down here, the RSI pretty much bottomed out. Well, it didn't bottom out, but it got to the zone that I'd like to buy in, and it bounced off this level. So that was a nice confirmation of my decision to purchase these contracts. And then if you head over to the day view, you can see that sorry guys, you can see that we've had a pretty heavy sell-off going into the earnings. But I think that, I mean, we've pretty much reached these previous levels. So I feel like we've got a lot of support at the $42 level. And I think that this was, like I said, a little bit of an overreaction given the earnings. You can see the RSI is pretty much tanked down into the low 30s. So we could see a lot of upside potential in the next couple weeks here. So if you head over to the post market, excuse me, the post market, you can see that we're up 1.5% or so. 57 cents. Earlier we were up more. We were up 64 cents in the post market. And keep in mind, these are $43 calls that we bought. So technically speaking, we're 86 cents in the money at this point. So that was a little bit of the reasoning as to why I wanted to load up on those. I feel like there's a lot of potential, and even if we don't really grand slam them for a couple dollars in the money, even if it's up, 3%, 2%, that'd still be $2 in the money. And we can still bank a pretty solid profit, probably somewhere along the lines of $300 to $500 with not that much price movement. So that's definitely solid in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much all we've got going on for today, guys. I am looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm gonna hop back into the frontward-facing camera here for you guys. All right, guys. So as you could see, today was a pretty decent day, given the market circumstances. Definitely wasn't ideal. Yesterday I was really sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick unfortunately, but yesterday I was really hoping that plug was going to continue their rally from the post market into pre-market and today, but obviously the stock market had other plans, so we did our best to accommodate for that and try and recoup some of that money back. That being said, I do feel pretty good about NIO, as you guys saw. A little bit of my reasoning as to why I bought those contracts, but yeah, I don't know. I think tomorrow is definitely going to be a better day for the stock market. So looking forward to tomorrow. And once again, thank you everybody who's been watching so far. We did get a new subscriber today. Shout out to him. He also followed me on Twitter. I appreciate that, man. Don't forget, links in the bio for all my social media and my website, and I will definitely be following you guys back, and I really appreciate the engagement. So that being said, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Get a good night's sleep and go get the stock market. Go kill it tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, guys.